Hey everyone, it's Bennett Forrest, your Fantasy Football Commissioner, with the Week 12 weekly recap for the ForrestLand MishMash Fantasy Football League. First of all, quick apology for not getting a recap in the last couple weeks. No excuse as usual, just didn't get it done. That being said, let's move on to wishing you a happy Thanksgiving. Hope everyone had a great time. I know I spent time with Matt and Greg from the league, not only at our annual Forrest Family Thanksgiving, but also the family reunion which we had, which was great. We had some Atlanta family, we had some Texas family, and California as well, all there, and we had a great time. And Matt put a lot of work into a genealogy presentation, so kudos to Matt. But let's get into the Week 12 recap, where we didn't really have any close games. We had the last two yearly champions of the league scoring the most points. We had Chicago Travelers defending champ with 203, and Third and Oolong 2014 champion with 205. Other than that, there was only one close game, and this is interesting as the Slim Aussies, as you can see, won, climbing to 5-7. We have a 3-game winning streak, and I am going to just quickly, not to be sour grapes on you, but quickly go back to Week 8, where the Slim Aussies lost by 4 points, and I remember sitting on the couch at 12:30 looking to take the Texans defense out and putting Kansas City in, and I think Kansas City got 12 points, so that 8-point difference would have gotten me the win. Alas, I got distracted, didn't switch out the defense, so sour grapes a little bit, but that would have got me a win, and I would be at 6-6. But either way, I have won 3 in a row to come to 5-7. Slim Aussies with a slim playoff chance. Excuse me. Needed 20 points Monday night from Aaron Rodgers and Zach Ertz. As you can see, got 31, so got the relatively easy victory. Aaron Rodgers looked great. He had that one touchdown pass where he threaded the needle, so he looked like Aaron Rodgers, which was nice. Plus, I hate the Eagles, so I'm glad the Eagles lost. And a couple points here and there from Zach Ertz for the Slim Aussies. Almost got burned with Colin Kaepernick, 36 points on the bench. The other thing that was interesting was LaShawn McCoy with 32 points. Of course, he had a 75-yard touchdown run. So if you take that away, you've got 18 carries for 28 yards and a touchdown, which is nothing, but you got to count it all, and so that was great. Definitely made an otherwise mediocre game look really good. Sterling Shepard didn't do much versus Odell Beckham. Odell Beckham, as predicted, got the better of that matchup. Sterling Shepard's been a bit disappointing after the first week getting a touchdown. After week 2, looked like, hey, he's going to be a good number 2 receiver behind Odell, and just hasn't done much since, although he has got a couple touchdowns, which has been somewhat helpful. 16 points. Interesting. But only, how come it only has, oh, there it is, 2 points. Oh, he must have had a rush. I don't know how he got 2 points with 0 catches, but obviously not a good day for Shepard. But I think what did it was Drew Brees had 5 total touchdowns, 4 passing, had a rushing, 310 yards, but 0 to Brandon Cooks. And I don't understand Brandon Cooks because, as you can see, he had an amazing first day. He's had a couple other great days. Overall, very, very good, solid season, but just inconsistent and not a single catch against the Rams. That was really the difference. If he does anything, if Drew Brees spreads a little bit of that wealth around to Cooks, he's going to get at least 11 points. Of course, Stephon Diggs getting 0 doesn't help either, but really that's the difference is Brandon Cooks. And the Graceland falls to 6-6. Slim Aussies keeping their slim playoff hopes alive. Let's look at the high-scoring games. We had just a dominating game for Doreen in Third and Oolong. Whoops. What did I do there? Let's get the box score going. Just points everywhere. Every single starter except the defense and kicker got well over 10 points. 32 from Michael Thomas. He did get some of that wealth from Drew Brees. And check this out. Both quarterbacks, 23 and 29, and had 24 on the bench from Barkley. So didn't even need that. Smartly taking Rob Gronkowski out. I think he played. But either way, didn't start him. That was the right move. And obviously pulled all the right moves. Third new long, 205 points. Baltimore Riot falls to 5-7. Just a tough game. Brady did his thing. Just not much else. Of course, Cam Newton on the bench. Not sure why anybody would put Cam Newton on the bench in place of Flacco, but obviously it was not the right decision. Wouldn't have mattered too much. So some bench points there for the Riot, but just not enough to go around to beat 205 points. So good job, Doreen. Then we have the Travelers defeating the Stallions. Stallions fall to 6-6. They've had a little bit of a tough season, tough luck-wise. And then the Travelers have tons of points. Other than Allen Robinson doing nothing, everyone's getting points, and even he had a quarterback on the bench, which would have gotten even more points. But with Trevor Siemian, who was amazing Sunday night. And the Chicago Travelers got to be really happy. First in the division, 8-4 record, well on their way to the playoffs and possibly defending their title. Haven't had a 2-year title run since I had one about 4 or 5 years ago. And Matthew Forrest just struggling. Obviously Andrew Luck didn't play. Smartly put Scott Tolzien in, who did get 1 touchdown. So nothing you could do there. And some garbage points from Antonio Brown. I think he only had like 5 catches. But he had 91 yards and 3 touchdowns, so you'll take that. And not a terrible scoring day, but obviously Eagles defense not doing anything Monday night. And Andrew Luck injury didn't help. So Chicago Travelers get the easy win. We have Catonsville Cartel making some noise, at least playing spoiler. They get a nice 167 points. Mike Evans and Winston wasn't in, but Mike Evans-Winston combo has been great. Even without Winston, Mariota and Cousins filling in nicely. Along with DeAndre Hopkins, Todd Gurley might be one of the biggest busts of the year. I mean, just not a single 100-yard game, 3 touchdown. A lot of that has to do with the Rams quarterback, but that's not worth the top 10 pick. That explains a lot of why the Cartel are struggling. So a lot of points, though, gets the win. They go to 4-8. And colon cleansers fall to 6-6. So all the teams in the middle that needed to win, they all lost, which bunches things up for the other teams that are fighting for playoff positioning. So the colon cleansers with a tough day. No points for Alex Collins. I never even heard of that guy. Obviously, Seattle did nothing with only getting 5 points. And just not a lot happening for the cleansers there. So they fall to 6-6. And finally, also tough luck Mandarinos. Had an up and down season. Had a couple good wins, but just not scoring enough points. They've lost 3 in a row. Injury risk, not a lot of points, but hits the right opponent on the right week. They go to 9-3 to lead the MASH division. Obviously, Le'Veon Bell continues to be good. And Matt Ryan's had a good year. That's actually a pretty mediocre day considering the Falcons scored 38 points. But again, injury risk doesn't care. They get the win. 136 points and just not enough points for Mandarino. Just slim pickings. Matt Forte's been up and down this year. Lamar Miller. That's another one of those getting hurt by the crappy quarterback of Osweiler. And a little bit surprising, Amari Cooper only had 6 points. So just Mandarino just didn't get it done. They lose 3 in a row. Injury risk gets low scoring, but yet get the win. They go to 9-3. Let's take a look at the standings. Again, with 2 weeks left in the year, pretty much clinching a playoff spot, and the division is injury risk. Let's take a quick look at the points to see. Although, in theory, Third and Long could catch. They've got the point tiebreaker. So let's see if they play each other. Let's look ahead. That doesn't help us out. We'll look at Week 13 in a minute. But Third and Long still could get the division. Injury risk is pretty much guaranteed a playoff spot at this point. Travelers as well, looking pretty good because they have the point total edge there. And then as far as the 3rd and 4th team, Third and Long with her points is looking good. You have 3 6-3 teams, 6 and 6 teams, 2 5 and 7s. So it's going to be interesting. We'll have to look to see who plays who to see what would happen. But let's take a look. We have the playoff projected bracket, so let's take a look at that. If the season ended today, Graceland at 6 and 6 would be in. Third and Oolong at 7 and 5 would be in, and of course the 2 division winners would be in as well, and the division leaders. Obviously, we have 2 weeks left, so let's just take a quick look ahead to Week 13, which I think all the teams are finally off byes. I think maybe 2 teams are left on a bye this week. So the Slim Aussies need to beat the high-scoring team of the league, the Travelers, to have a chance at the playoffs. Obviously, the Riot could win and make themselves a little better. Mandarino and Cartel playing spoiler. And then Third and Oolong has a chance to pick up a game on the division by competing against injury risk. So the teams in the middle, all, it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. And then, of course, we have Week 14. Chicago Travelers could be pushing injury risk out of the division win. We have a couple 6-6 teams. We'll see what they do this week. So it's going to be interesting. 2 weeks left. It always goes by fast. I will be in touch about league dues. I definitely want to get all the dues in before the playoffs end. And so that's it for the week. Thanks for listening, and I hope you enjoyed it. And I'll definitely talk to you next week. Bye-bye, everyone.